Today we will explore rising number to a whole bunch of different powers. But first try evaluating this expression 4 raised to the second power, which you can also read as 4 squared. Because this number up here is 2, that means you are multiplying two 4's together, and 4 times 4 equals 16. So this equation says that 4 to the second power equals 16, or 4 squared equals 16. Now what happens if we make this number a 3? Well, then we are multiplying 3 4's together. So 4 times 4 times 4. Since this product equals 64, so 4 to the third power equals 64. And just as rising to the second power is also called squaring, rising to the third power is also called cubing. So 4 cubed equals 64. Next, try evaluating this expression. What's 5 to the third power or 5 cubed? 5 cubed equals 5 times 5 times 5 or 125. Next, try evaluating this expression, which you can read as 3 to the fourth power. Three to the fourth power is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, or it's 81. Now let's quickly introduce the names for the terms in this expression. This number up here, which says how many times you are multiplying, is called an exponent, and the number down here that is being multiplied by itself is the base. So go ahead and quickly identify the base in this expression and the exponent in this expression. The base in this expression is 5 and the exponent in this expression is 7. Now let's look at a real world example. Suppose you're looking at a bacteria under a microscope and you started with a single bacterium at noon 12 p.m. and it doubles or splits into 2 every hour. So at 1 p.m. you have 2 bacteria, and by 2 p.m. both of these have doubled into 2 more, so you have a total of 4 bacteria. By 3 p.m. they have doubled again, so you have total 8 bacteria. And they keep on doubling every hour. Here is 5 p.m., 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. So how many bacteria do you have at 7 p.m. after they have been doubling for 7 hours? After 7 hours, there are 2 to the 7 or 128 bacteria. Since they are doubling for every hour, means they are multiplying by 2, by 2 and by 2. That may not sound like too many, but after just 1 day or 24 hours, there are 2 to the 24 bacteria, which is more than 16 million. Next, let's look at a power of negative numbers like negative 2 to the third power. That means we are multiplying negative 2 by negative 2 by negative 2. Multiplying the first 2 gives us positive 4 times negative 2, and by simplifying these two terms we have negative 8. So negative 2 to the third power equals negative 8. Next, try evaluating few more powers of negative numbers. So here are the answer you have found. Negative 7 squared equals 49. Minus 5 raised to the third power equals negative 125. Minus 3 raised to the fourth power equals 81. Minus 2 raised to the fifth power equals negative 32. You might have noticed a pattern Raising a negative number to an even powers like 2 and 4 gives you a positive results, while raising to an odd powers like 3 and 5 gives you a negative result. Next, see what happens when you raise 0 to a different powers and when you raise 1 to a different power. So 0 raised to any power will give you 0 and 1 raised to any power always gives you 1. Now all the powers we have been looking at so far have been 0 or 2 or greater. But what's 7 to the first power? Well, that means we are multiplying together exactly 1 7. So that's it. 7 to the first power equals 7. Let's take this example over here and try evaluating these expressions yourself. Since raising to the first power never changes the number, so there are the answers. Okay, let's summarize what you have discovered here so far. A number raised upon a number that tells how many times multiplying is known as an exponent. In 2 raised to the power 7, 7 is an exponent. A number that is multiplied by itself is known as the base. In 5 to the 6th power, 5 is the base. Raising odd power to any negative number always gives you a negative result, while raising even power to any negative number gives a positive result. For example, minus 2 to the third power equals negative 8, and the negative 2 to the fourth power equals positive 16. Next, 0 raised to any power will always give you 0, like 0 to the third power equals 0. Next, 1 raised to any power will always gives 1, like 1 raised to the 4 power equals 1. Last, raising to the first power never changes the number, like 7 to the first power is 7. So this is all about the exponent. I hope you have understood all these and you're going to enjoy your time practicing this concept ahead. Best of luck. See you next time.